The 30-day rice experiment, the power of our words, has been completed. Stay tuned for the results. Hello, my name is Stephen Fugler and this is Faith Ministries. If you've been following this channel and what we've been doing, 30 days ago we started an experiment because we heard about a professor in Japan who did an experiment with 3 containers of rice. One container was the control where nothing was spoken to it. One container was called nice or something like that, and they only spoke nice, encouraging, blessing words to it. The third one was called bad, or accursed rice, bad rice, and only bad things were spoken to it. And after 30 days, they looked at the results and they found that there were a difference between the good or the nice and the bad rice after that time. So 30 days ago, I cooked up some white rice, same batch of white rice, put it in one of these type of takeaway containers, equal amount in 3 of them. I didn't label one of them, which was the control, and labelled one of them bad, and the other one nice. Here's a short clip just showing a progressive, because I took a photo of each day, and each day for about 30 seconds I took each of the rices, the bad and the good or the nice, away separately so others couldn't hear what was being said, and I spoke over them bad words or good, encouraging, nice words. So just watch this short clip and see how the photographs progressed quickly over those 30 days. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the rice in detail. So this is the control rice. I hope that is focusing for you. Now, as you can see, from 30 days of decaying, we have a lot of different types of mold growing here upon the rice. Now, there's not much of the actual rice visible. There's a lot of greys, there's a lot of white, different shades of grey, different types of mould growing, and this hasn't had any type of words spoken to it at all, other than just sitting there day by day doing nothing, and except for the lid coming off every day to have a photograph taken of it, it has remained much the same. Okay, so that's the controlled rice. Let's have a look at the bad. Let's have a look at the bad rice. And so this is the bad rice, as you can see. And it does look quite a bit different to the control rice. As you can see, there's probably quite a bit more grey, but there's a lot more white. The whole area is covered in mould of some form or other. And it does look different to the controlled rice. It has decayed in a different form of way. And then looking at the nice rice, where I spoke words of niceness to it, Yes, you can see there's black, which I believe are the spores of the mould. In other words, if they give an opportunity, those spores would go out and they would multiply and increase. But you can see there's a lot more, there's not as much grey, there's not as much white, but there's a lot of that, what would you call it, a greeny grey, olivey green substance in the shape of the rice still. It's almost like the rice has coated itself in this small amount of mould. So there's a distinct difference between that and the bad rice. Let's see if I can get them both in the same picture. So we have the nice at the top and the bad at the bottom. So the bad doesn't have much of the rice actually showing anymore, it's all covered, whereas the nice has still quite a bit of its substance. It's the shape of the rice still visible, and it's just turned like an olivey green as it's starting to break down. So what we're going to do now is, I'm not sure whether there will be any difference. We'll probably cut this out if there isn't. This is the control, and what we're going to do is just stir it up to see whether there is any particular smell. Now it has really gone pasty. And it just smells musty, mouldy type of smell. The bad rice, it's much harder to break up. It's interesting, underneath there's all different colours. It's certainly different construction. It's almost got an earthy aroma to it. But it's certainly gone harder, broken down a lot more than the control. And now the nice rice, it is very soft, amazing, very soft. And you can see those spores still coming off. It hasn't powder, it hasn't broken down all that much at all. It's almost got a slightly sweet aroma to it. So there you have it. After 30 days of speaking to the rice in a different way, or not at all, I feel that we do have indeed a definite difference between the nice rice, the control rice, and the bad rice. You know, it says in Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 that death and life are in the power of the tongue. In other words, the words which we speak, they do have an effect. There's so many verses in the Bible that reinforce this, but the words which we speak do have an effect upon the circumstances and even inanimate objects such as rice, such as this. Either for good or for bad, or no effect at all. So in Ephesians chapter 5, or chapter 4 rather, we see in verse 29, Paul says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that may build up and minister grace unto the hearers." Let no corrupt communication. In other words, don't let any bad words, any words of doubt or unbelief, any words that pull down or destroy come out of our mouths, but only words which build up, words which are full of life. You know, I spent 30 days speaking to inanimate objects such as rice, cooked rice. But you know, our words also have an effect upon the people that are around us. People such as our husbands or our wives, our children, or those who we have, our workers that we may be supervise or work with. Either the words which we speak over them are words which build them up, bring life to them, which bless them and encourage them. Or the words which we speak, they pull down and they bring death and destruction to them. You only have to look at children who have grown up in an abusive home where they are cursed, they are sworn at, they are tormented, bad words are spoken over them throughout their whole childhood. And those people grow up with a lot of dysfunctional problems, which takes, by the grace of God, the power of God, to actually become free from. It affects people. The words which we say affects people. You can either make somebody's day by speaking nice and smiling, or you can make somebody's day bad by cursing them, by swearing at them, by being down upon them. The words which we say also affect, as we saw, inanimate objects. How many times do you sit in front of your computer working during the day, or an engine, or some other device, and because it's not working the way in which you want it to work, you swear at it, you curse it, you say what a stupid thing you are, you don't work properly, and you wonder why you have trouble with it all the time. The words which we say have a powerful effect upon our lives, upon our own bodies, upon our circumstances, upon the people which we are surrounded with. Our words either build up or they tear down. Our words either bring life or they bring death. It's our choice. It's our choice to speak words of life. Our choice to speak words of grace and love and faith. And the things which are around us, they do and are, as I showed in this experiment, they are dramatically affected. I only spoke to those containers of rice for roughly 30 seconds each day. Imagine if you lived in a toxic environment where you were spoken badly to for 12 hours a day, 8 hours a day. But also imagine what it must be like to live in a home or in a workplace where you get spoken to with words of life, words of blessing, words of hope, of trust, of love. It makes such a difference. So I encourage you, watch the words of your mouth. Speak the words, speak the desired outcome that you want. If things are in your life and they're not working properly, maybe it's because you have been speaking over them badly in the past. Maybe it's time to change, with God's help, the words in which you speak, to go from speaking words of doubt and unbelief and negativity and death and badness to speaking words of faith and hope and trust. As a side comment, it was very interesting that because over the years I have really developed and trained myself to only want to speak good words, words which encourage, words which bless, words which build up. And I found it very difficult, strange, to actually speak words that would pull down, that would curse that bad rice. And it was really hard to do at first. But therefore I just encourage you, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. Death and life are in the power of our tongues. And the words which we say do have a dramatic impact upon the people around us and the circumstances, the devices, the machinery, the cars, the plants, whatever it may be around us as well. Speak life, speak hope, speak love, speak the word of God, and you'll notice a dramatic difference in your life and the lives of those around you and the things around you. Thank you for taking part in this 30-day experiment of our rice experiment and seeing what happens to it over 30 days. And indeed, our